and welcome to another exciting episode of More Rolls, the only game show where we use the power of imagination to pretend we're someone else sitting around a table. We think it's going to catch on. And you being here is proof enough. I think we should continue doing this. What do you think, guys? Episode 15, episode 15.
It's our quinceañera.
The quinceañera. Oh, yeah, the quinceañera. Please, for the folks at home, please explain what a quinceañera is.
A quinceañera is...
It's when you turn 43
what?
And you have 7 children, and they call it your quinceañera. It's because you have 7 kids.
I like that explanation a lot more.
Perfect.
Actually, I've been to many quinceañeras, and they're also a lot of fun.
Really? Oh, that's so cool. I've never been invited to one.
It's actually a food dish.
Oh my gosh, you're so...
it's something that you bring to, like, most parties.
I feel this is like Hollywood Squares, where it's like everyone's going to tell them a story about
Tell us you're wrong.
And then the chat has to decide who's telling the truth.
It's like should do that.
Three lies and a truth?
Fun with tone, fun with tone. Everybody loves fun with tone.
Bone. We should actually
Hollywood Squares, everybody.
Bone tone. Wait.
Bone tone. Thank you all for being patient and waiting for us to start. We are so very grateful to have you here. We're super excited because last episode was an amazing episode. A lot of reveals, a lot of heart attacks. I got a call from my mother saying, "Hey, easy with the lore drops. My heart can only take so much." I'm like, "Okay, hey. All right, thanks, Mom."
About to call the quinceañeras.
Yeah.
What?
We're going to call the quinceañeras on her.
Oh, wait, I think that's a conquistadores.
No, I'm pretty sure it's quinceañeras.
Right.
I'm sorry, I thought it was a quiche.
A quiche. So let's go to the chat. Who's telling the truth?
Definitely a quiche.
All right, let's see. Well, for those of us...
No, a quiche is a party for people who turn 15.
Oh, that's right. A quiche is a party for people when they turn 15.
Oh, good.
So silly. It's so difficult being a woman sometimes. Yeah. We are so grateful we have these men folk to help us out. It's so difficult.
What would I know without you?
What does the word mansplain?
Absolutely nothing.
Marie, what are we going to mansplain today?
I'll introduce everyone since these women probably have forgotten who they are.
Yeah, we have.
Obviously.
Hey everybody, we're gonna start with the pink hair. I don't know what I called you. I apologize. But please introduce yourself, and then we'll go to two-tone, the beard, and then the formerly known as white hair, now black eyes.
Nope.
No. We're gonna stop. We're gonna
stick with white hair. Yep. Thank you so much.
So hey guys, I'm Marie. I'm here. I'm alive, I think. I do remember who I am. And so does Eve now. Yeah, so let's get started. Ready to play, and I'll pass it on to Two-Tone.
Yes, she used it.
So happy.
Hey guys.
That was beautiful.
Two-Tone. I play Morwen. That's the end.
That was it?
Okay.
That's it. That's the end. That's all, folks.
Moving on to the beard.
I love to hear you talk, though.
Oh, the beard. That's me. Hi, I'm the beard. Also, aka known as Keegs. I play Orin, the fun-loving and love-loving redacted class. You'll never know. That's it.
Something Joe.
I'm excited to, play and make D&D babies. I mean, Pathfinder babies.
Yep. There you go. Nailed it.
Awesome. I want to say that...
and I think that's it.
That was class. Can we just talk about Keegs' introduction a little bit more?
Mm-hmm. So classy.
Hey, let's go down to Sabine.
Classy without giving away his class.
What's up, y'all? I'm your girl K-Sue, aka formerly known as White Hair, aka formerly known as Black Eyes. and we're staying away from that, going back to white hair, and then probably find a new name along the way.
Wait, weren't you Whitey and somewhere in between there?
We are moving back onto that, and
can we call you the Shadow? The Shadow.
Yeah.
No, that's way too cool.
No, yes, we can. Absolutely.
White Shadow.
Nope.
No, you're gonna give her a complex. You can't call her the Shadow.
Nope.
Okay, White Shadow's actually pretty good. Which
White Shadow's pretty cool.
Which, like, you know, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie Turbo about little snails, there is one called White Shadow.
White Shadow.
Oh, man.
He's really big and chubby, and he just goes really slow.
Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. I have not seen that movie in a very long time. Thank you all for your beautiful introductions. I think it's time to go to our correspondent out in the field, Two-Tone Sarah. What's happening on the Instagrams? What is it that we need to know?
Yes, hello, this is Sarah. I am reporting live from not the Instagram, but my basement. I would like you to know that Mortal Rolls, we are going to GameCon Canada in June 14th to 16th. 14th, 15th, and 16th. We will be there.
Otherwise known as 14th through 16th.
Yeah, I said 14th to 15th, and then I said also the 16th. So that's, all of those days. We're going to be there.
Also the 14th through the 16th, if you didn't know.
Yeah. Also,
you're talking about the 14th
we might not be there on time.
Of June.
Just so you know.
2024.
That's so amazing. That's so cool. And for those of you in the neighborhood in Edmonton, Alberta. Oh yeah, in Edmonton, Alberta.
GC hyphen GamesCon.
GamesCon.
Hyphen PamsCon.
GCC, bring your A game, yo. I'm not gonna do that again. I'm sorry, guys.
What? No, please, always.
The social media is going to your head. Oh man. Cut her mic.
No, we actually do need to get her a microphone.
Thank you.
This is my microphone.
Bring your A game.
Also, a magic 8 dice.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right. Oh, it is magic 8 dice. Okay.
It is. Yeah. I told you.
I think that people are ready.
Yeah.
I'm getting the sense that everyone is ready to start.
Ready, let's go.
Because, again, last episode, holy moly.
That's a lot of guacamole.
How would you describe it? Was it mind-blowing?
It was a lot of guacamole.
I mean, if Morwen had avocados, she'd be making guacamole, man. Because holy guacamole.
Yeah. That's good. Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. I can't top that. We might as well, you know what? We're just going to end there. All right. Good night, everybody.
Dream over.
We're going to start with a recap. A little recap.
Which is actually not from Ree. It'll actually be Tone doing the recap.
Tone cap.
I know, it's so
Yeah, that's right.
It's a T-cap.
It's T-cap. Shout out to the re-art that we saw all last episode of all the beautiful Pantheon. For those who missed the episode, a huge reveal on what the Pantheon looks like from the gods Juice, Licinia, what was some more? Casimir.
Oh,
just a couple names.
The beat.
Or like Asimir.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And Lazarus.
Don't fuck that
A couple big name drops. But thank you again for Ree and the beautiful re-art that you do. It wouldn't be the same without you. But now let us set the mood. Because last time on Mortal Rolls, our heroes ventured into the ancient cathedral museum, a place shrouded in mystery and whispers of the past. As they stepped through the grand archways, they were met with walls adorned with paint seemed to draw out their curiosity. Eyes widened with astonishment as they approached the murals. The paintings that were torn revealed not just mere images, but reflections of their very souls. First, Morrigan, the goddess of sorcery and ghosts, was revealed to be none other than Morwen. Then, one by one, each hero stood before the paintings to try and gain any sort of revelation or name from their hidden past. Then, in a twist, Sabine learned that she was Belladonna, the goddess of chaos and bloodshed. That Brother Mayhew tried to offer her a sacrifice to save their village from starvation. Lastly, Oren, lost in a memory, discovered a forgotten love in Sabine's former self, who lovingly spoke his name to be Kanto. All the while, Verinia began to remember pieces of her part in the goddesses' lives. And Verinia, being none other than our Eve. Finally, with their true names revealed, they came to the incredible knowledge that they were not just heroes, but gods who somehow descended from the celestial realm. However, names do not answer why they have fallen to this mortal plane. For the hero's journey does not end here. It's only just begun. Will our heroes unravel the enigma of their divine descent? What trials await them as they seek to reclaim their godhood? Find out on the electrifying episode of Mortal Rolls. For last we left, the heroes entered into the chapel known as the Chapel of Belladonna. Here, amongst the now tossed over altar, with the smell of blood and meat, all scrambled across the face of a giant statue, a carving of that one Belladonna. And all huddling around a statue of a weeping angel, an angel who was a part of Belladonna's past. But most of all, there was some hard memories of a certain blade entering the stomach of Belladonna by none other than her twin brother Bane. And then, alone in this chapel, off in the distance, you hear what sounds to be like laughter echoing through the chambers, the chamber hallways. And now you are left to wonder what to do next as the lights within this chapel flicker and the smell of incense from those candles fill your nostrils as you sit on a cold marble. What do you do?
We need to act fast. Did you all hear that?
Sounded like a bird. Right? Was it a bird? Or was it someone
Or was it a plane?
laughing?
It's a plane.
I don't know.
Nope. I think he meant a bird. I can try to remake the sound if you would like. Try to talk back to it. Maybe it's a spirit.
Or we could just follow things.
I don't want to make that sound.
You can make that sound if you want to, Sabine.
I probably could, but I don't think I want to.
Okay.
That was my stomach, I apologize.
It sounded a bit scary.
Who said that?
God?
I can resist.
Is that you?
Let's investigate quietly and carefully.
Can I, here to like make a perception?
Yeah, absolutely.
To try.
You may make a perception roll. Now, let's first discuss who is in this chapel with you, because there was some discussion behind the scenes about where is Rupert.
Oh, Rupert's here.
Rupert's at Oren's side all the time.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Right.
He's the goodest of boys.
The bestest.
And so then Rupert has been following very silently, tail between the legs, very nervous in this area, very quiet, keeping to your all your guys' legs, especially Oren's. So now Rupert is there. Now you may proceed to do a perception roll. What exactly are you looking to do with the perception? With your ears?
I want to try to listen and smell. To roll.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception.
That would be a 18.
This is an 18. An 18. Listening, you it's clear what you've heard. You've heard 3 distinct voices in amongst the chaos as you were sitting there in the chapel. First, you heard what sounded like to be kind of a humanoid type of voice, sort of laughing. But then you heard some chatter and laughter of something that may not qualify as human. And then, of course, you heard the rumblings of the beast. Now, in terms of smell, you're at a major disadvantage, as the smell of the meats and the candles fill your nostrils.
Yep, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. From all the crying.
Yep.
So Sabine, you're not able to get any sort of roll on your mucus. Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see.
Let's never.
So yeah, so in terms of smelling, not able to pick up anything. But in terms of hearing, you did hear. Now, from where did they come from? It is an empty cathedral museum made of marble, so the sound would echo through the hallways around. So you're not able to pinpoint exactly.
And you said that it got cold, right? In the last session. So can you please stop making those thumbs up?
A little bit of
Yeah, ghost in 𝐓𝐡𝐞's house. Leave us alone.
The temperature did get cold.
Okay.
As you heard, when you heard the laughter, that's when you sort of noticed the temperature change.
Oren.
Yeah.
You said that you hear laughter a lot. Was that the same laughter? Okay.
No.
Because that laughter was like really creepy, so I'm glad that you don't hear it all the time.
No. That laughter isn't as scary as the one I hear.
It is quite scary. I have heard it. When he killed you, actually, he laughed quite hard.
I'm sorry, what?
Wait, I died?
All of you did.
Whoops.
That's why I was crying.
Oh, well. What?
I don't know how to process that. Maybe let's deal with the creepy laugh, and we'll come back to all of us dying later.
All right.
Let's go then.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Sabine
Okay.
will kind of hold back just a little bit and just kind of look at Eve and just gently like touch her arm and just say, I'm sorry that I said that. That was very unthoughtful of me. I should not have said it like that.
Do anything.
I thought you knew.
So Sabine.
It's probably information that we needed. If that helps.
And you know I'm no stranger to death.
Just maybe not in a creepy temple with pictures of us as gods in it.
It's just something we'll have to think about later.
Yep. Let's
She
go.
kind of, just pats Sabine's shoulder and kind of takes her arm gently and
All right.
You go, and you head towards the door. Eve, as you kind of sort of take the lead in terms of walking.
Yeah. Yep.
As you are walking across, you can see that the candles are now sort of almost through its, I guess, life is ultimately what you can say. At one time, it looks like they were left kind of burning there for quite some time. That wax is running all across this marble floor. The door, the heavy door,
The Aragon door, yes.
yes, is shut. And now you would have to push on it.
Oh, push
order
or
to open.
pull?
Push or pull, you don't know.
I think it's a pull.
I think it's one of those doors that you can either push or pull. It has the double hinges.
Right.
Well, Eve will try to push on it first, I guess.
Be
And
wary.
the one side begins to open.
And as it opens, she'll kind of follow and kind of motion for the party to go back behind it so that they can kind of stay behind the door to look at what's outside without being in the immediate line of sight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, as you're there at the door, immediately you are met with a cold breeze right on your face, to the point that you may have seen your breath. And you notice on the outside now, the temperature has dropped by a few degrees.
Just kind of wrap her arms around herself. She's not super well equipped for the cold. It's strange. It's out there. She'll whisper back to the others. And then try to peek around the door to see if there's anything in sight.
Go ahead and roll a perception roll.
There must be some toros in this atmosphere.
Oh, yo.
It's cold in here.
Ice.
Slow it down now.
O-E-O-E-O.
Eve, you're going to be rolling a perception roll.
Mm-hmm.
I heard 3 voices.
Brilliant. With a 26.
That was
So,
Oh, I thought we were all rolling perception checks.
we can all
oh, no.
roll.
Yeah, I mean, if you're following, Eve was just kind of taking the lead.
I'm right. Sabine is always, like how Chomsky is always right beside Oren, Sabine is always right behind. And no, that wasn't a dog.
Humping her
Funny
leg, just
joke.
like
Okay.
Rupert.
Ready for action.
I also
All right.
didn't roll that privately, and I don't know what I actually rolled.
You
rolled so
rolled
privately you don't
a
even know.
15. Oh, okay. Sabine rolled a 26. I see. Eve, you rolled a 15. As you look down the hallway, peeking through the door that you kind of pushed in, you have a good view of down the left-hand side of this cathedral to the area where the fountain is. Beyond the fountain, it's hard to see. It's dim light. Can't really get a good glimpse. One thing that you do see that perhaps you didn't notice before is a plaque on the door of which you're holding, and it's written on the inside, and you see kind of just it.
Yeah.
Scribbled there.
She'll like kind of go to read that.
As you read it, you notice that what it says is that this is the relocation of the Temple of Belladonna, as 10 years ago there was a fire in the city of 𝐼𝙣𝙤𝙤, which is in Venandria, where the Hollows is located. So, and what it says is that 10 years ago, there, because the temple being destroyed, they moved what was saved over here to Remorum. And so it's basically like a plaque kind of saying that these have been moved from its former temple location. You also see that across the way is another grand door as well. And you can see that there is the symbol of a lightning bolt sort of across, and it sort of breaks off into not just one lightning bolt, but then it branches off as the light of the torches flickers upon a golden door. But in terms of down and seeing, you cannot make out anything down past the fountain.
Defer to Sabine then.
Okay, Sabine.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes.
You look out and you do notice the same. You notice that there is some gibberish on this plaque on this door. Obviously nonsense. Yeah. You see again the golden door across the way. As your eyes begin to focus within the darkness, as also you perceive the cold and know that, yeah, you begin to see your breath as you're breathing. Your eyes catch light at the very end of this hallway, shining on another giant tapestry. And your eyes sort of look at it, and you sort of catch an image of what the picture or painting is sort of. As you see, it has also been slashed. But you notice that 3 females is what this painting is about. As you see the legs and the dresses. And that's what you see down the hallway past the fountain.
Right.
But other than that,
How,
it's now silence.
how far away is that from where we are?
From where you guys are, it is approximately, because it is a fairly large museum that you're in. So it's about 195 feet.
Okay. Yeah. So good trek.
And you can sort of see with there's lanterns all the way down to help. And because the tapestry is so large that you're able to make it out at the very end.
Where would you like to go?
Eve will kind of look towards, because she saw the door with the lightning bolt, that like golden door. And she has the fresh imagery in her mind from her own memories of Olympia, of the king of the gods. She kind of looks towards that and just we are able, I would like to take a look at that, but I don't know if that has. I don't know where that laughter, those sounds came from. It seems to be empty down here.
Was Sabine able to pinpoint where those sounds came from, or was it just a generalized, like, out the door, just outside kind of a thing?
No, being that the fact that you were listening from inside the chapel, you're at a major disadvantage of pinpointing. And given the fact that it is an empty museum and made out of the material that it is, the sound would just echo down. But you sort of just get the sense that it's coming from further down, right? It wasn't something close, it was something further down.
Okay. And I can't hear anything now, right?
At this point, no, everything is silent.
All right. Why are we here again? What are we looking for?
Captain Blake sent us down here to look for some intruders to come into the temple. So that we should be prepared.
To do what though? To kill them? To ask them questions? I don't want to hurt anybody.
Doris has information.
I'll let you guys roll a society roll with a +4. Morrowind, I'll let you roll because you were having conversation with Captain Flick.
Like, I feel like Sabine would be a -4. She
Yeah,
knows
Sabine.
nothing.
She was so full of rage, just ready to kill Morrowind, that everything else.
But also, anything about the city life, she just like, no.
Morrowind, you're kind of talking about Doris Ajar. You're like, oh no, Doris Ajar, Humperdinkus. Was it Humperdinck or Humperdinkus? But anyways, you begin to remember that no. Doris is not who you're looking for. Doris gave information to Captain Flick and is somewhere safe. But the cultist members that have been involved with what's been going on has been seen going into the museum. And that's why you recall Captain Flick was saying to you, hey, inside here, there's a cultist member, perhaps you can learn whatever you can from them. Not knowing if it was one or two or anything or more, but they know, and what Captain Flick has explained is that at least one cultist member is inside here.
Actually, I was remembering incorrectly. We're looking for cultists, guys, not Doris. Doris is safe. We're looking for a cultist to get information from them. There's at least one in here.
So capture, not kill.
I heard
Capture, not kill.
I heard three voices.
Did you recognize any of them?
That is a great question. I shall confer with the spirits. Oh, great spirit, did I recognize any of the voices up above?
Great spirit of the
Great
sky.
spirit.
Pray to Belladonna as you pray to Belladonna. Please.
Pray to herself.
Yeah, for real.
Roll I believe are you calling upon your ability to see what spirits you can call upon?
Yeah, I totally can.
Or are you
I was
just gonna
calling
do like
upon-
a society?
I was calling upon you.
Great DM spirits.
But
Roll a society roll.
I'll do...
Yeah, to see if what you can recall.
You know, I could make it fun and spicy and see if there's any spirits around that could chitter in her ears about who is lurking in this temple, if you want.
If you
Just
want. I don't want to tell you what to do.
Okay.
There is,
You
you
don't
can roll
know
that.
shite about society.
As you are in the chapel and you begin to probably focus in on all the truths that you've learned of late, perhaps you are centered in a way that you can listen with your, not just your ears, but with your soul. What sort of prayer, what sort of words are used by Sabine as she enters into this state?
I think that after Morwen would ask that question, she would just kind of say, "Give me a moment." And she'll kind of like back up against the wall and just close her eyes and just almost like throwing out her senses just to kind of clear her mind of everything and just reach out to see if there's any lingering souls or spirits or anything around here that could possibly be able to attune to her, to whisper in her ears, and she could just say, I was literally just thinking the Pink Floyd song, like, is anybody out there? Can anybody hear me?
Just not if you can hear me.
Yeah, not if you can hear me.
Is there anybody home?
Literally, that's, yep.
Relax.
Yep.
As you
Just
go
basic
into
facts.
this state, as you begin to recite what's almost like poetic lyrics, perhaps of some prayer book you've come across at some time, maybe someone has read to you, you're not quite sure, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yet these words seem to flow from your mouth, and your eyes are opened, and you see what looks to be an elderly elf. Tall, darker
Elves
skinned,
become elderly?
Mm-hmm.
and
They're not like an actor.
seems just to be standing out across near the doors of Juice's chapel and looks at you and tries to mouth and then begins to walk. You don't lose sight of the elf.
Okay. And I'm so sorry. Can you mouth the words one more time? Something
I'm
about...
not saying anything, I'm just mouthing
Yeah,
the words.
that's what I thought. Yep. Was she pointing? Or was she just by the door?
He was standing by the door
So sorry.
and almost as if trying to communicate with you, but you are too far away, is what you get the sense of as the spirit begins just to walk, not out of your sight, but just to kind of walk away towards the fountain, as if, and now looking, you can see that the spirit has sat down.
All right. I would... Well, I guess that'd be a little bit much. I was gonna say, can I push my essence out towards him to reach out to see if I can...
Okay, well, wait, oh, you said essence. Okay.
I mean, I could try and talk to him, but like...
What would you like to do? This is not nothing where you're having a spiritual journey where you are pushing out your soul. You actually are able to see as your eyes are open, so you would have to ultimately approach to engage.
All right. I think it would be very a hypnotic thing then, where she's kind of entranced in this, and she would just kind of start almost walking towards the person, not really paying attention to what's around her as much as she probably normally would. She would just kind of gently squeeze out of the door beside Eve and just start walking towards the spirit.
I think it's safe to say that everyone sort of knew what you were doing. It wasn't anything that, they haven't seen before, especially in the caverns.
Yeah.
So you saying and uttering your prayer and then moving past Eve, you all are seeing Sabine in some sort of trance as you walk towards the spirit. Okay.
She would probably be muttering specific things about him, like what he looks like, and just things that she finds interesting about him. Like almost unconsciously doing it. I don't know, like when you talk to yourself and you're just kind of muttering, you're going around the house and doing random things like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. This is very much that same thing of, oh, this elf guy, he looks like this. Why does he have this?
Mm-hmm.
How did he die? Like just
these sort of things as you're and what you describe as what you can see is that it's safe to describe this elf as a dark elf, one whose skin is that of a darkish gray with white hair that falls to a ponytail down the shoulder, wearing a green and brown sort of cloak. And you could see that this elf is holding onto a staff. And make a perception roll about the staff as your eyes are drawn to it.
19.
You notice that the elf, while sitting, is holding the staff. The staff at the top of it, it looks like it's missing something. And it seems that there was something there at one time. And it's quite obvious. Your eyes pick it up that there should be something more to it, whether it be a stone, whether it be a crystal, but you get the sense that there is something missing from it.
Okay.
And as you are approaching, you're able to hear, I am lost. You can see me. Why?
I can. I'm
What can I do for you? I feel drawn to answer questions to you.
I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry that you are lost. And she'll kind of sit beside him.
As you sit beside him, it's almost as if you're expecting to feel some sort of warmth. But as you sit and look, you can see that the spirit itself is just sort of waving and very transparent. Not very transparent that you can see right through, but you can certainly start to make out things through the body. He turns and looks at you while you're expecting to see these, almost as if, I don't know what you would expect, but you're met with a gaze of these black, solid eyes.
I think she would expect to see Farron. Yep. I think she would just expect to see that, and so I think she would be interested to see him be a darker elf than her, because I think Farron's the only elf she's ever come in contact with, Sabine at least. And so she'll just say, Why are you here in this temple?
He kind of looks at you with these eyes, obsidian black. His face sort of scrunches, you know, like kind of making bringing his eyebrows in. And then he looks at you, just kind of leans in a little bit closer. I cannot leave. My soul is trapped, as is so many of my brethren.
That is heartbreaking to hear. What can I do for you to find peace?
Find peace. Peace.
It is quite a silly word, isn't it?
He sort of just looks confused. I cannot find peace. While those that have slain my family live. I cannot find peace until I can find the crystal atop of my staff, which is missing. I cannot find peace until the return. Until the return. And sort of begins to shimmer away as his time spent is being stretched.
I will.
You had a question. Is this your question?
It is not, but I feel torn now. For my question, I just want you to know that I will help you find peace for you and your people. I know and am friends with one of your people. Her name is 𝐼𝙣𝙣𝙤, and she is good and kind and has been through a lot. And I have vowed to her to make it right for your people. And I will with my friends. Do you know who lurks in the dark in this temple? The cultists who weave the darkness.
The spirit then hears your words as you say the word or the name 𝐼𝙣𝙣𝙤. You can see that the expression changes as the eyebrows lift. You. I will answer your question as if you can pass a message on for me to this one you call 𝐼𝙣𝙣𝙤.
Of course. Anything.
Tell her that the 𝐷𝙗𝐴𝐺𝑜th is within these chambers.
I shall remember.
Tell her to tell the Cleonath. And then with that sort of begins to fade. Inside the room, you will find a dinner of devils. And just disappears.
She'll sit there for a little bit and just say into the darkness, I will pass along your message, my friend. Thank you for your words and for answering my question. And she'll just kind of do a little bow. And then sneak back over to her group.
Just scamper over.
Who are you speaking to? Did they tell you something?
They did. It was a dark elf. Like 𝐼𝙣𝙣, but not like 𝐼𝙣𝙣. But met the same end as her people. They are restless and cannot find peace. He told me to pass on a message to her. He spoke of the Cleonath.
What of it?
She will tell them what he said because she has a better memory than I do, and she will pass it along perfectly. but he also said that there is a dinner behind those chamber doors, and that the devils.
Which doors?
She will point to the doors.
As you recall the direction that the elf was looking, and it was looking towards the chamber adjacent to Belladonna's, across from the whence you came. The one where Morwen recalls seeing the door ajar.
Got it.
The door is ajar?
It's no longer ajar, but
that's right.
There was
It's not ajar.
No longer.
It's a door again.
Good job, door. We're so proud of you. You said that the devils have come to dinner. Which I think sounds like a lot of fun.
It's dangerous, but perhaps what we are looking for.
It's like a place where the cultist would be.
Yes.
Well, let's go.
I
And
wonder-
Morwen opens the door.
I wonder if there is a... Oh wait, you opened the door? Like
Well,
our
I
door to
I,
the chamber?
Touch the handle. I touch the handle.
Oh,
And go to
Sabine
open it. And then
crept
Sabine
back.
starts talking.
Sabine crept back into the Belladonna chamber where we all were. So did she walk out and go?
I think were we not in the hallway?
I think you guys were, I'm assuming you guys were at the doorway and you saw Sabine walk out and that you guys didn't enter the hallway.
Okay.
That's how I envisioned it.
Yeah, because she had kind of
Morwen
snuck out.
Would have
So that's
gone
what
to
it
go out into the hallway.
Okay.
And then stopped when Sabine started talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so sorry. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is a way to witness them from another room, but not be in the room. But what is the word, Eve, that you have used where you are watching? Spying. Yes, that is what you said that I did. It's called spying. Or when I was watching you and the man when you did not know it. Right. So we can do that to them. Right? Do you think
Perhaps if we can find a good place to do it. And she'll kind of look around at the architecture. The room that Sabine had pointed to, that the ghost had pointed out. Also, have there been any staircases?
There's no staircases that you can see in this area, but I will allow you to make a perception roll. Because one of the things that you notice, in fact, instead of a perception roll, I'll get you to roll a society roll. Roll a society.
Also,
I want Sabine to roll also on a society, as there was something about this elf that you've met that seems awfully familiar.
I'm wondering if he looks like the guy that was in one of the paintings, who had a staff.
Well, I don't think Sabine explained what he looked like.
I know. It's very frustrating because Sarah has put it together.
Sabine remembers nothing of a man with a staff.
Eve rolled a 29.
Well, yeah,
A
you
29?
did.
Hello. Eve, one thing that you're noticing here about this temple is that as you're looking towards the floors, you're noticing colors. Colors is very much you're noticing it. It's a very big part of the construction and design. In fact, you see that the yellow or across where Juice is, you see the hallway is laced with almost what looks to be like gold on the one half.
Mhm.
Yet on the side that you're on with the belladonna, it's white. And looking down the hallway, you see on the one side, on the far side, same side as Juice, just further down. And you know that the temple or cathedral museum that you're in housed 4 chapels. That of Juice, that of Licinia, that of Belladonna, and that of Bane. And across from Licinia's chapel is what you're sort of determining because of the purple. You see a black hallway. And so in your mind, you can sort of identify where the different chapels are. Belladonna, Juice, Licinia, Bane. And the direction that Sabine was sort of referencing was that of Bane's chapel.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at not being seen when I need to. Maybe I can help us find the right way to go to maybe stay in the shadows.
I believe the hallway that we are seeking is the Temple of Bane.
Perfect. Perfectly fine. Perfect.
I think Eve, having just previously shared those memories with Sabine and would have shared the memory of her being stabbed by Bane, will kind of go over and kind of put her hand on Sabine's shoulder. Are you sure?
Perfectly fine. I have, it feels very much like, there is, a bunch of chipmunks that are squeezing inside my body, in my heart. But other than that, I am perfectly fine.
No, that doesn't sound perfectly fine, and you don't have to say that you're perfectly fine if you're not. If you feel bad, you don't have to say that you're perfectly fine.
Right. I feel perfectly bad right now.
Close enough.
You're anxious to go in there. Maybe it would be better if just Orin and I go in then. the less people that go in, the less chance we have of being spotted, and the quieter we can be.
Just the 2 of us could.
Maybe you two could inspect the museum some more, find out some more about who we are.
You want to?
Perhaps we could go into that door. And she'll kind of gesture towards the gold one. Because she's still a little bit drawn to that.
Honestly, I feel like the more information we gather and the faster we get out of here, the better.
But we should have some sort of signal in case you need us.
Okay.
In case things turn uglier.
How about
the signal will be help.
Yeah, this
One
signal
of us just
is
yells help.
I scream.
Help.
But not
I
the food.
scream?
Not the
Oh.
food. No, like I go ah, but louder and sounding more frightened.
Right. But what if you need help, but it is not a scary help?
Well, then I would say, 𝐼𝐼𝐳𝐼𝐻.
But I can also
Come look at this.
remember that I can send a little message to you through the sound waves.
Right.
I can do that, but
Oren can do that.
you guys might need to be a little bit louder if you need help from us, because I don't think you are as talented with music as I am.
Well, no one's as talented with music as you, Oren.
It's true. Thank you.
I will just do what Morwen was going to do, but I will yell, "We are perfectly bad." Is that good?
I like it.
Would that work?
Can
Works
we
for
make
me.
it a t-shirt?
I am perfectly bad. We're adding it to the merch list.
On the front it says I'm perfectly fine, and on the back it says I'm perfectly bad.
Love it.
Bad.
Brilliant.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Amidst all this, Eve, if you're drawn to that golden door, you certainly can walk towards it. I asked Sabine to also roll a society roll.
Oh, right. I was going to ask what you wanted me to roll. Right. Bing bong. That'll be terrible. 5. She's not good at society, y'all.
You're kind of like, Now, when you were describing, did you describe what you saw? Like when you were saying out loud, like were you describing?
And like what I was seeing with him, or
with what you were seeing, because you were saying like you're walking, and then you were saying I'm talking like I'm saying.
Yes, she would have. Yeah. Oh yeah. Duh, Morwen. She would have said, "Why does he have that staff?" Or like stick.
Yeah.
It looked like there was something supposed to be on top. Where is that?
Could I try and...
I'll allow you to roll. Yeah, I'll allow you to roll a society roll. It'll be with a -2, just because you're not quite sure what was kind of being shared. But there's something about what she said.
And she would say about his staff, like, after he said it, too.
Oh, 11.
There is something about this, and it's bothering you now.
It's just itching my brain.
Your brain. You've seen that you've seen this. What she's describing is very, very familiar, and you kind of think that if you had a visual, that maybe perhaps it would bring back some memories. But you're like, there's something about this person that she's describing that's just feels so familiar. Why? And as your mind begins to kind of race around at the different things. So I'm not too sure who has what in terms of the paintings. I believe there was people who was cutting paintings. And did anyone cut the Mara painting? So, okay. So anyways.
Abandoned it.
Yeah. So it'd be there. You're just kind of thinking that maybe there's something to do with the paintings, but you're not quite sure. Like you can't.
I read about him in a book somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're kind of walking by and you kind of think, maybe the paintings. Wait, maybe.
Mission,
Yeah.
let's go see Bane.
So you start walking towards Bane. Orin is.
He's going towards the Bane thing. And he's gonna be as sneaky as possible. I guess he's looking for like any way into the Bane chapel without kind of giving it away. Like if there's any other side doors or windows up above or cracks in the wall, or if
A vent.
yeah, or a vent.
That's what I was thinking when I was.
Like a vent? Yeah. You know what? Go ahead and roll a perception roll, and where exactly are you looking, like, for this vent? Like, are you looking down the hallway? Are you what area are you kind of thinking?
Hey, I have a
Ventiest
question. Where is
most
it?
places.
This way?
Mm-mm.
Yes. So if you guys the map here, this is the fountain right here.
Yeah.
This is the golden doors that you assume is Juice's chapel, and then over here is the door that you saw. That was ajar at one point, and it's no longer ajar.
Right, it's and a door.
This is, that this is what Eve was pointing out to be Bane's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the black tiles, right?
The black tiles. Yeah, the black marble tiles.
Yeah, I think if you looking up and down any of the walls that like would lead into the room, including like up and down along the base decks, and looking up along like the roof around it as well, and just like looking for any alternative routes.
I'll give you, let's see, I'll let you roll a thievery just to see if you can sort of pick up on some sort of
not a stealth, a thievery.
You're putting your mind in to that of a person who's trying to keep secrets. So where would they keep secrets? And with the 15, you sort of kind of think that, if someone was trying to hide something, probably be near the fountain.
Morwen, I think we should try going over near the fountain. It just seems like that's where I would put something.
Yeah, maybe we should look at this pool of blood too. That we kind of ignored.
That Eve had
I'm pretty
her
sure,
rock drink up.
Pretty sure Eve went in there with her rock and played in it for a little bit, but I think that might be the opposite direction of where we need to go.
Played in it. Mm-hmm.
Some footprints. You see Sabine's footprints clear as day through the blood, and it's been sucked up. Most of it has been sucked up by Eve's rock, but there is still remnants of blood. Absolutely.
And Sabine would have told you that it was human blood.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's all we need to know. Let's look at the fountain.
And the fountain is where Sabine was sitting with her ghosty friend. So, even more reason to go to the fountain.
Yeah, I think we're going to look all around the fountain and just look for any secret switches or any secret, like, those little things at the playground that you have, like the little cone that you listen to and you can talk to the other person through it. We're going to look for one of those too, just in case.
Exactly. Yeah. I will let you roll a this very well could just simply be a perception roll as you are putting your hands through and just looking for any sort of some indication.
Yay! 27.
You.
And you're looking at this fountain, and what you can see is the imagery of what you see is like a human face. It's a female, and it sort of kind of molds like where the water holding like a pitcher, and this is where the water's kind of pouring out. On the other side, you see that of an elf with his with again another female with her hands out like this, and water seems just to be kind of pouring from the hands. On the other side, you see someone with a crown and holding what looks to be like a trumpet, and the trumpet is pouring water. And then the last of the fountains that you see there is that of a bear. And the bear is opening its mouth and it's spewing out water. And you see that it almost kind of gets a sense that there's probably like a secret hinge on one of these things, just that the way that it's designed. And the one that really kind of stands out to you is the fact that a king would not have a trumpet. And for that reason, your hand goes to the trumpet.
Yeah, this doesn't make very much sense. Why would a king have a trumpet? Like, I get it. I'm pretty kingly, and I'm good with the trumpet. But, like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Don't kings have people who play instruments for
Yeah.
them?
Duh. I think the trumpet belongs to someone else. I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna try and pull the trumpet out of his hands.
And then as you grab it and you're like, you kind of realize that you can move it down. So as it's pouring water, you begin to move it. The water stops, and that's when you hear the and as the water drains, you can see that all of a sudden it kind of the floor of where the fountain and the water sat begins to lower, and you can see that there's like a little bit of a crawl space down in below.
I'm gonna whistle a little bit, and I'm gonna cast message while I whistle, and I'm gonna whistle in a message to Eve and Sabina and just say, hey, we found stairs in the fountain. I don't know if y'all want to come to the stairs in the fountain or not, but we're gonna go down them.
What do you want to do, Eve?
I will go where you go, silly.
Oh, silly. I would go where you go.
Yes, you're gonna go nowhere.
As Eve was just about to open the golden doors.
Yeah.
Please. I know that you are nervous to go into the chamber of Bane. We want to spy. Seems like there might be a way for us to do that. It's up to you. If you don't want to.
We could always go in there after. We could just take a quick peek in this room because I know you really want to. I know it's eating at you.
Is it that obvious?
Just a quick peek.
I actually do also have message, but it says only 120 feet, so I guess if we're that distance, then she'll message back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then she would message back. We will come and follow you in a few minutes. Just going to check something out first. You can go on ahead and we'll catch up with you.
Okay. Be safe. Okay, love you. Bye.
Meanwhile, Sabine would be saying that out loud, whispering to Orin, not actually messaging Orin, thinking that she is talking back to him, but saying the same thing.
She'll just translate evil relay this message that Sabine says through her message when she realized what Sabine's doing.
Just like, Oren, we'll meet you there in a second.
Okay. Yeah. And she will take a deep breath and open the door.
Of Juice's chamber?
Yeah.
Didn't like the way he said that.
Yeah. I mean,
And you all die.
You open the door. Like I said, each of these doors are very intricate design. Like it has been carved by what seems to be a master's hand with the care and reverence that the gods deserve as your hand is placed upon the cold handle. Cold now because of the temperature within this chamber. As that cold metal in your hand, as you begin to twist to unlock and push, you are met with a brilliant glow of gold. The flooring as the candles are shining, and you can see candles at the end of this room, and they're all glistening around, and you can see just the brilliance, and it looks just like as gold, and you look and you see this giant like bust of Juice. A giant head looking off to the side, just carved out, and it almost looks as if this statue at any moment is going to look at you and speak for how realistic it looks. And it takes up half the room in terms of height. Beside it, right away, your eyes go to a carving of a bull in this kind of a black and gold mixture. On the other side, you see that what looks to be of a griffin. And again, not in anything that is, it mostly looks like it's this one is made strictly out of granite, of stone. But it's when you take a look then to your left, when you see the statue of an angel and the statue of Juice sitting upon the throne, that all of a sudden your head begins, and that's when you lose consciousness. And right away, just overcome with this imagery, there's no save on this. As you begin to pass out, you find yourself in a flashback. As you see that you are standing outside, not of the throne room of Juice, but of his bedroom. As you've been summoned to his private chamber.
She'll knock on the door.
And you'll hear a voice. Ven! Is that you, Ven?
Yes, Your Grace. Might I come in?
I summoned you, didn't I? Come on, Ven. And just said it in such a that way that you're so familiar with. That keeps you on edge.
Yes, Your Grace. What can I do for you? She'll just kind of go in cautiously, looking around, like,
Inside
what on today?
Inside the room, of course, you see a bunch of books. You see a bunch of different sort of fruits laid about on a table. You see his bed. You see the old dirty robes in the corner waiting for you to tend to. But you see him on his private chair that is covered in this sort of bear fur that you are familiar with. And he's sitting on it with his fingers crossed, looking at you. There's something different about this room. And roll a perception just to see if you're able to pick up on it at this time as you step in.
Yeah. Verenia is quite attuned to... She's very familiar with, like, how things are supposed to be. Am I able to get a bonus on this at all? Because I'm using Eve's stats.
You will have a +4 because, yeah, you know when something is out of place.
Cool. 17.
That is enough for you to quickly realize that there is an hourglass sitting on a shelf that wasn't there before.
Her eyes will go to it. And then look back. Yes. Your Grace, what is it that I can do for you today?
You recall that he was not his regular self. While he always has a different sort of emotion, quick to anger, there was something about the way that he was staring at you this day that you recall where he sat staring at you. Vinny, I've been receiving reports that you've been going down to the mortal world, wasting time, while I have requested you to prepare for the party in which all the gods were supposed to come together and drink. Do you remember my order to you? What was it?
Of course, Your Majesty, to gather, invite everyone, and the Morrigan was to be the guest of honor, and reporters of the Leafy. Your Grace.
And have you gone and get to Leafy yet? Is it?
Yes, I have some, but you'd asked me to set up a meeting between you and Lord Lazarus, Your Grace.
I don't know what to think of all of this. For I've just been completely... Before you arrived, I had not only Casimir, but Equivius as well, wasting my time, telling me everything that you've been doing. And quite frankly, I am sick of it.
Very sorry.
What have you been doing? What have you been doing that is so important on the mortal world that you are not obeying my instructions?
I have been I have been looking for only the best for the feast, for the party. I wanted to make sure that everything was in order, and it was searching for the best fruits and to prepare everything for you. That is all. I'm sorry if I was not efficient. I swear that I will be more efficient with my time. I did not mean to waste anyone's time.
Make
You're
a
great.
Do you remember? Make a reflex save.
Yep. Okay. Yep. 16? It's probably not good enough.
Jess catches your forehead as a goblet flies across the room, just grazing you, slamming into the wall. I took you in when no one wanted you. When Mara begged me to take you into my command, into my service. And this is how you repay me, by just blabbering on. Am I to believe you, or am I not to believe the god of the sun? Are you better than him? No, of course you aren't. Now, I have to say this, so hear my words. Benny,
Yes.
you have 3 days. 3. And that's because I'm being generous. To get exactly what I need to make this party a success. I don't have to remind you of how important this day will be. There is too much commotion coming from the Morrigan about Arcus. And I can't have that anymore, Vinny. And so, that's when he points to the hourglass. A gift from a loyal subject to keep you in line. 3 days. At that point, as he points to it, you feel the burn on your wrist. And as your eyes look down, as clear as if you could just feel the burn on your skin. And as an angel, you don't necessarily feel pain. Unless it's from a divine. And you feel the burn as if you are being branded with an hourglass. And as it burns onto your skin, if you would call it skin, you can see that the hourglass shifts over and the sand begins to pour out. 3 days. I don't. Whatever sort of lethe you were able to get from whoever, I want it straight from the source.
So, Grace.
Now be gone. I tire of looking at you.
And she'll just bow and quickly go out of the room. Just close the door behind her, and then outside she's just trying to compose herself, taking deep breaths. She'll look at the hourglass again. Is there anything else that she would notice?
Eve, as you are recalling this memory and you're now looking at this hourglass, you recall that as Verinia, this hourglass really meant. You weren't sure what to make of it. But now with Eve remembering, it looks very familiar. In fact, you are positive that the markings around this hourglass is very much the same, if not as close as it can get to that same brand that was on the mistress's wrist.
Like something memorable. Is there anything else on her wrists?
As you perhaps stare at the brand, what happens is that it just seems like it shimmers with a sort of a flame, like almost like an eternal flame in a way. And ever so often, as it makes a complete round around the circle of this hourglass that it's contained in, you can see just almost a flash of the lines that have been cut into your body, as if it's feeding from it. And you are, at that point, you begin to come back.
I think she'll just reach out just instinctively as she's waking up. Did she collapse because she passed out?
We're going to have Sabine do a little reflex save.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She can, sweet Eve, or if she misses, and Eve will suffer a concussion and forget everything I just said.
Reflexes are too good. I would cut it.
Okay. Like, I know y'all play like, okay, like Sue's always trying to get some, circumstance bonus. However, okay, Sabine is always watching Eve.
Always.
Because homegirl has passed out 2 times on her presence and thought she died.
She has a fainting disorder.
But yeah. I do recall that you were saying that there was a lot of mucus that you were experiencing at the beginning of the... So yeah. I think there could be a minus
She's blown her nose.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Let's roll.
Okay, what am I rolling again?
Can we find a better word than mucus next time, please?
Mucus.
Also, a plus what?
What? Plus 2.
Plus 2? Okay.
Yeah.
This little baby, don't fail me now. That looks like it's cocked. That looked like it was cocked. But
yeah, you gotta honor the cock.
That's enough. As she falls backwards, you're able to. How do you stop her? Do you like push her back up, or do you like?
I think she would mostly just be like Eve, and like just like catch her, and then just like gently like crumple to the ground. And just, are you dead? Yeah. Are you dead? And then put her ear on her chest. to try and hear the thump thump.
Yeah. Trying to hear for the heartbeat. Are you alive? Eve
just grabs her tongue.
Literally seconds of you standing and beginning to fall. That's where the memory is going through. Everything rushed through your head. So as you're falling, you're gaining back your consciousness as Sabine grabs you and starts to check.
Sabine will put her forehead to Eve's forehead to see if she can do that like magical transference thing to see what Eve is thinking about.
Please tell me Eve cast the spell.
You don't even know what's going on.
She might when she wakes up, but she's
Sabine's just convinced it's her doing it the whole
Oh,
time.
absolutely. She's just like, the last time I did this with Eve, we had a mind meld. Our brains blended together.
She just headbutts the shit out of her.
Work.
Roll for damage.
Oh man.
You both have concussions now.
Yeah. Sabine is
Better than
just
one concussion,
more and
two
more turning
concussions.
into me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
You're
Sabine is
Sabine is-
right close up to your face, blinking.
What does how does Eve react to this?
She wakes up and Sabine's right in her face. Very reminiscent of the time when they first met. Well, when Eve first met Sabine.
I love that clarification there. Yep.
Yeah. She said something, and I think she just like grabs your arm, as she's like waking up, like very much like waking up from a nightmare.
You're all right.
Yeah.
You're all right. You're here. You're safe. I'm here.
I remembered something about when we were. You said the mistress, she had an hourglass on her wrist, and that it gave her life, and it was draining.
It gave her powers. Bane, her mate was Bane, and he gave it to her as a gift of their love, so they could be together. But she said that hourglass did not spill or run out until about 10 years ago.
I had a memory, and just a memory of Verinia and her life on Olympia, and she had one of these on her. I had one on my arm. It was not a gift. It was
Yes.
sort of, it was a time limit. It's the time that I had to complete a certain task and prove myself to the king of the gods.
What was your task?
Throw a party for the gods and collect waters of the 𝐵𝐵. I've
What
heard
a
that
word.
word, but I didn't. Verinia knew what it meant, but details are
See,
escaping me.
why would he put that on your arm over a party? That does not seem right or fair.
I don't think Verenia's life was very fair. I don't think the gods were very fair. Clearly they're not very fair, or we wouldn't be where we are.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I believe this party was important to the King 𝐤𝐴𝐼𝐻. He said Morrigan, that's Morwyn, that's who she was, asked too many questions about Arcus.
Why?
I don't know.
Does
So
he not like Arcus?
Perhaps Arcus was exiled. The paintings, you remember, the trial, the questioning, those paintings, it was about Arcus. I think something may have happened to him, and Juice was tired of the questions about it, but that's, I don't know why or what. The trial was, I don't know what sort of offense he committed to be exiled as we were.
It must have been awful.
Or perhaps it was something as simple as neglecting to plan a party quickly enough.
Yes,
Apparently
true.
that's something the King of the Gods is willing to punish your existence over. I think we should go and meet Morwen and Orin now. I've had my. I'm content here unless there's anything you want to take a look at before we leave.
I would like to do something. Are you alright to stand on your own?
Yes, I should be fine now. She'll kind of help use you to kind of like support to help herself stand up and get her footing, test that she's not shaky, and then she'll like slowly let go.
Yeah.
Eve, as you are heading towards the door again, from being from the inside going out, you see a similar plaque that was on the door of Belladonna, on the door of Juice, just on that opposite side that you were in. So you would see it as you were going.
Yeah. She would occupy herself with reading that while Sabine does what Sabine was wanting to do.
Yeah. Okay. And Sabine, what are you doing?
Oh, what did the plaque say?
You don't know. You don't know how to read it.
Yeah, true. They put it upside down again.
Surprise.
These builders are so terrible. She would walk to the giant statue of Juice.
You walk towards the giant statue of Juice. Again, you almost expect this statue to look at you and begin to speak of how realistic it looks. Down below, you can see the same similar candles that were within Belladonna's, now kind of realizing a recreation of her temple. Here you see the same candles sort of at the same level. They've been burning for quite some time. The wax spilling over, the smell of this incense that is used to worship within these temples. And you see these piles of gold coins at the base of this giant bust, of this sculpture of Juice's face, all piled up. And you can see that the wax is now sort of covering the bottom of these, and it looks like gold coins left there, as if it's an offering.
And are they on a table, or are they on the ground?
On the ground, yeah, on the floor. If you take a look at the floor right away, you can see that it looks like the floor is paved with these gold coins. But as opposed to, their actual gold coins sitting on top, the flooring looks like it's littered with gold coins, and it's just sort of paved over with this kind of clear material, so that it emphasizes these golden tiles full of gold.
I was going to say probably resin.
Some
so
I've seen it done before.
Material called resin. It's alien.
Probably from glue from horses.
Sorry. Raisins?
She would Yeah, walk up to it and just kind of look almost disgusted. And she would just look around and shake her head and just say, you know, I find you rather childlike in your anger. The way that you would torment my sister over a party sounds very much like a child. Like one of my creatures that I know. Throwing a tantrum because I would not give her her little wolf toy. Very silly. But I never threatened to kill her or harm her. Well, that is not what you do when you love your family. And I don't believe that you are a very good part of your family. And perhaps they are better off without you. And she would go down and grab some of the gold and just say, and this is worthless. And she would throw it at his statue. And then kick the other gold pile.
Take that, you big dumb bitch.
Yeah. Basically.
Given the fact that it has some wax on it, as you throw this gold coin at the statue, you can see some of the coins stick to it. And as the rest kind of spill away down below. Roll a perception check.
Okay. $21.
You think as you threw the gold coins, as you kicked them, you think you saw the statue shed a tear. And as you sort of recheck again, it's the statue is just the statue.
Huh.
But for that brief moment, you think it shed a tear. Eve, you're reading on the plaque that this is a recreation of the Temple of Zeus found in the city of Favili. Because that's where the Temple of Zeus is, in Favili. And all that you're seeing here is just a recreation. That's what you're getting that's in front of the plaque.
Okay.
Yeah. He would just say, this is all worthless. And just turn around and walk away.
Boom! Got him!
Ooh.
Roasted!
Morrowind and Oren and Rupert Chomsky, you are standing at this fountain. You can see that there is a crawl space. It is a crawl space that you can now crawl into. Do you guys go into it?
Morrowind says, "Good job, Oren."
Thanks. Good job to you too.
You can see Chomsky sniffing at it. And he begins to sort of growl and then look up at you, Oren, and then go.
Well, come on, Rupert. Come on, Morven, let's go. And Oren's gonna crawl down and go into the crawl space and start sneaking along.
Morrowind
goes in. Rupert Chomsky follows. Morrowind, before you go in, now that you're at the center where this fountain is, as you probably just did a quick glance corner of your eye, there's something about the tapestry at the end of the hallway that just like, that just for a moment, just almost kind of like, there's something about that tapestry that is speaking to you, in a way that you're sort of feeling the same way of when you saw Morrigan on the painting. It's that same sort of feeling.
Oren, can you wait just a minute?
Okay.
Roll initiative, Oren, and go ahead, Morin. Go and do your thing.
I'll just wait right here.
BRB.
Is this like a, when you say crawl space, is he crawling through this crawl space?
Yeah, it is. It's literally where. How tall are you?
Like 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2". So you'd be hunched over as it would fit comfortably a person who is 5'9". As it is sort of you're kind of ducking in. You can see
Like
that
my life.
that where you're at is, you can see that there's sort of these tunnels that go into each of the chambers, but then you also see a tunnel kind of moving outwards in a round, and a quick society roll, I guess you could roll as you're in here, sort of determining where you're at.
So where's the tapestry? It's at the end of the Bane and the purple hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. She'd just say, there's just something. There's something. I need to go look.
And as
I'll just wait here. It's real comfortable.
Oren with that 12. Or when you take off, you're like, what?
I'm like, what? Okay, bye.
You're like, what is this trumpet down? Let me just pull it up. Yeah, Oren with that 12. You sort of think that this is not part of the design, the initial design, and yet it seems like it is a part of it. And you're kind of recalling some stories, but you're not 100% sure. But you're just familiar that Remorum is known for its smuggling, and you suspect that this could be it, but you're not 100% sure. You just sort of suspect that maybe this is in fact one of the old smuggling tunnels that goes into each of the chambers and things like that. But
I'm pretty sure they use this cove for snuggling. They like to snuggle in these coves.
Rupert looks at you like, huh?
Yeah? Do you want to snuggle, Rupert?
And then it's Morwen, you're walking down the hallway. Morwen.
Okay. Nope, we're going down that rabbit hole.
What?
No. Don't start the loop.
Sorry.
Morwen,
Just kidding, it's my favorite.
Like,
You're
zoinks, Roops!
mistakes were made.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, folks.
I told you, once you get them starting, it'll stop.
Morin, as you're walking towards this tapestry, you see that it's also slashed. This similar fashion. It is quite large. It's like a 20-foot size picture.
Yeah, it is.
Big one.
I try and lift it so that I can see
It's
it.
huge.
It's huge. It's
It's
going to be really difficult for you to try and do this just because of the size of it. But walking closer to it, you can sort of see underneath the
Maybe like lift it and look underneath.
the first
Roll
one.
on it.
Yeah, the very first one you can take a look at. But you make out. Roll a perception with a plus. Well, you get a +2 on this roll.
A plus
For
2
strength.
on perception.
Yep.
$18.
Yeah. You get a good look as you are seeing 3 pairs of feet. You see that there's 3 women, and as you begin to look up and you sort of position yourself, you can't quite reach the highest one, but you sort of position yourself in a way that you can kind of see through the form. The plaque on this picture it's titled "The Three of One," and you can see that there's an image of a younger woman. In the middle, there's an image of an older woman, and you see at the third image is an image of an older woman. And this sadness, as you look at this picture, you know, you have an idea of what this represents. And you know that the youngest one simply as the maiden, the middle, the mother, the last is the crone. And yeah, I want you to make a will save as a flood of emotions come to you as you're staring at.
27.
You immediately begin to think about the altar that you were at where you got the scroll. Immediately you remember the impact of being in the dust storm and seeing 2 images walk away. And it's as if your eyes you've been made to see the sand pull away as you can see a woman that could be described as a crone and an older woman that has depictions of that very same sort of mother as they are walking away. And you know that this was exactly what that old man told you about. And you recall what the old man told you in that shop when he arrived to give you the pomegranate seed.
I think she would drop the tapestry. And I think she would just walk away. She would walk away. And she would say, I was wrong. Let's just go, Orin.
As you say that out loud, as you're walking towards the fountain.
Yeah.
You know that from where you are and the distance that you walked, it's about 100 feet away.
Run away from it.
As you walk by the door that leads into the temple or the chapel of Bane, as you walk by, it opens.
Oh. Oh no.
Oren, you are underneath in the fountain with Rupert Chomsky. You can see the pathway that leads into the direction of the Baines Chapel. And you are able to make your way through there, no problem. In fact, as you get to the place that you feel is where the Baines Chapel is, you see a ladder that leads up. And there is a false sort of door that you can see that just sort of slides, and it's a false tile. Go ahead and roll a thievery as you attempt to enter into that room in silence.
As you are instead of a thievery?
Well, the thing is that you have to manipulate it, and you have to manipulate it as the smugglers are able to unlock it, which is why it's testing your thievery skill versus a stealth skill. But as your fingers are fiddling around with it, you think that you may have figured it out. And then it begins to slide open. Light. You can now see light as you enter into the chamber, and you begin to hear laughter.
I think that Morwen would have gone up to the door and peered through the crack.
As you peer through the crack, what you see inside is you're immediately met with a giant statue of a warrior with a massive sword. You also see well, yeah,
I'm sorry, I giggled and then I saw Ree's face.
He's holding it with two hands. I mean, what's so funny about
Not me and Sarah both going.
it's a hard, made out of rock.
It's
Definitely
velvet wrapped steel, you could say.
Definitely a two-hander. Huge, whopping sword. Yep.
And it's leaning to the left.
Yep.
All right.
It's a little bit of a curve.
Yep.
It's a scimitar.
Totally. He didn't mean it to be, but like...
You look at it and you're like, oh wait, there's padding on this. Wait a minute. More when you peek inside. And yeah, so you see this. You see that there's a display case right in front of the statue, and it catches your eye immediately because the light is glimmering off the glass as there's this display case inside. There is a table, a dining room table inside here, and you can smell the different sweets and meats and food. It's just, it hits you in the face, this aroma. You see two people sitting at the table. One is a man, has his back to you, but you can tell that he's a man. And at the head of the table, at the far end, you see looks like a creature with wings sort of folded, and its head with ears that are sort of pointy and floppy, with kind of a longer snout, and just with these big, massive kind of claw-like hands just sort of just sitting at the edge as if having a conversation with this man and laughing. And as you're peeking in, you also see at the center that catches your eye candles lit around what looks to be some sort of symbol with a goblet of a skull sitting at its center. And that's sort of what you see as you peer in. Oren, you're getting a whiff full of all this smell. And so my question is, what do you do, Oren, as the tile moves open and you are now able to move up into that room? And Morrowind, you're standing by this door that has been opened and you don't see how. There's no one standing by the door.
I think that Morrowind would think that this has been an assist from a higher power, and she would stay still and she would just listen.
Oren, what would you like to do?
I think he would cast message, and he would message Eve and Sabine and just say, obviously in his mind, hey, okay, so remember how we went to the Bane place? There's lots of people, or there's at least a few people in here, and I snuck in through the bottom from the fountain, and there's lots of people in here. I'm gonna wait until you tell me we should go.
We're on our way.
Wait for what?
Chill.
Cast off a message and you're not quite sure if it's reached. You get no response.
Oh no. Too far. Shoot. Do we hear it?
If you if you guys are in the temple of juice, if you're at the door, you are about 150 feet away.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I mean, it depends really on where we ended up as he's doing that, because as soon as I think we read the plaque and Sabine threw the coins, we would have been headed back towards the fountain. But yeah, that's up to your discretion in terms of timing.
If that was the plan of like leaving during this time and reading and having that, let's see. We're gonna do a luck roll.
Cool.
A what?
A luck roll.
It's gonna be a luck roll. Woo-hoo.
To the folks at home, aka me, I'm at home and I don't know. What's a luck roll, Tone?
It is. You roll a d20, and if it's a higher than a 10, guess what? You're lucky. If it's less than a 10,
You're not lucky.
You are perfectly bad.
Perfectly bad.
all right. Ree's rolling it.
I
Roll
am.
a d.
Okay.
Yeah.
D20.
All of us sitting here waiting for a magical d20 to roll.
I'm doing it now.
Jesus.
It's
Hi.
cold.
I'm gonna use can I use one of my hero points to help her re-roll that?
Yeah, Eve, are you gonna use a hero point?
I have 2. I would like to use one of mine.
What if we go into combat?
And I'll still have another. Jeez.
Oh no.
Wait, could I roll my own?
Re-roll.
No, that was it.
Dang it.
You're sending a message and you're like, I think they got it.
They got it.
Good news is,
they're just because they're being sneaky.
in my message,
Yeah.
I said that I would wait until they told me to go. So I'm just gonna wait a little, and then I'm gonna message again and say, hey, Did you get my last message? I followed the
Say
tunnel below the fountain, and I'm waiting for your go, because there's people in here. Hello? 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 Hello?
As you
And we
keep
hear hello.
hello. And finally you hear hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Orin, that's you.
Oh, yeah, hi. Did you get any of my messages? I left you like 17.
Totally. Yes, we did. As Sabine speaks out loud.
Speedy can't hear you that way.
What?
It's sort of
Why?
a mental message.
Oh.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now, Orin.
Hi, hi.
Hearing.
Okay, so I followed the fountain. There's a path in the fountain, and I followed it underneath, and I'm pretty sure I'm underneath the Bane place, and there's, like, I can hear people up above me, and I moved one of the tiles out of the way, and I can jump up and surprise them all, but I was gonna wait until y'all are ready to also surprise them all.
So we're going, yes, an ambush. We are on our way. We'll be there as quickly as we can. Should we come in through the fountain?
If you want to come in through the door, I'll jump up in the tile and yell, surprise! And then they'll all be surprised, and then they'll look at me, because I'll be, like, I'm pretty sure in the middle of the room, and then they'll be all confused, and then you guys can run through the door.
Mm-hmm. Sabine mumbles. Sabine doesn't know how to talk mentally because now she's overthinking it, and so now she just keeps her mouth closed, but just goes,
Evil turn to Sabine. What are you trying to say? I can send it.
Oh, I think he got it. And then Sabine will just wink.
Did you hear Sabine?
I heard.
What?
That's just
Hey, Sabine. Hey, Sabine. Do you know how you, like, think inside your mind, but you don't say the words out? Try speaking in your mind. Think the word. Don't say it.
Just blinks. She doesn't know how she's overthinking it. Yeah.
You're doing great.
She's panicking.
I'm just gonna assume that she means she understands.
time is 5 a.m. It's just a random hung
She's
up.
panicking.
She starts speaking in a completely made-up language.
Oh, dude, I was gonna have her start speaking squirrely on.
Squeak, squeak.
Yeah, chirp, 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 chirp.
Squeaking.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Okay, so basically, you tell me when, and I'll jump up and surprise them all, and then you all can run in through the door.
Why are we running in through the door, Eve? Are we trying to capture them?
Yeah, we gotta capture them so we can get informations.
Yes, we have to make sure that they don't leave until we get the answers we need from them. We're not going to hurt them, just
Well,
unless we have to. We're not going to hurt them if we can avoid it.
My ghost friend said that we need to be careful, that dinner is served and the devils are waiting.
We can. That's why Orin is going to come in from one end and we're going to run through the other door and climb it so that we can surprise them and make sure we aren't being the ones caught by surprise.
Right, I'm just... Alright.
Are you sure, Steve? You don't have to do this. You don't want to.
I will be beside you. I just I don't want my other side to take a hold of me. where I lose control, and it's all right. Let's just go. They are waiting. It's just I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
That other side protects you, protects us. It's not all bad. And she'll squeeze your hand and then start off towards the door.
She'll walk with you.
You guys walk towards the Morrowind, roll a perception roll, see what you can hear as you, while all this is going on. What information do you pick up?
Oh, heck yeah! 28.
You intercept Oren's message, and you're like, what?
That was a crit, by the way.
Yeah, that was a crit.
The little jingle went off.
That was a crit. Unbelievable. You know what you can do is you can intercept Oren's message, and you can change it to whatever you want.
I'll let it be.
Okay, fine.
When
Are
I
you
cast
sure?
guidance, I touch myself. Ooh.
Morwen wouldn't change any of that. I think that she might be like, hey, I'm at the door. I think I'm just gonna listen for a little bit. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Echo, Winnie.
And this is what you hear. You hear that there is a sort of creature talking to this human. And the human is saying, yes, lies. I don't need my eyes to see the lies. I don't need my eyes to see the lies. And the creature is there looking and just saying, yes, that's right. It was a good bargain, right? It was a good bargain. Yes. Is there anything more that I could give? Anything more that you would like to trade? I see all. I don't need anything more. It is all that I have to give. Nothing more, for I fear the worst. That my life will be spent much shorter than I anticipate. And you can see that this other kind of devilish creature is talking. Okay, but if you want to, it's quite all right. You know what to do. Just put it in the goblet and drink. That's sort of when Sabine and Eve begin to kind of show up in behind you. And you're standing there by this doorway.
Yeah, I think that Morwen would like to pull out a Bomber's Eye elixir and drink it. Basically, it helps me to have better aim.
Smart.
Yep.
Very good.
Once they're in position, Eve will message.
And she also readies a pressure bomb. Okay, now.
Alrighty. Now, what do you guys do?
Eve will message Oren and just say, we're waiting at the door. You're ready? So are we.
Okay, here we go. And I'm just gonna jump up through the tile that I removed, and he's gonna go, surprise, motherfuckers! It's Oren! And he's gonna cast Fear with a little sidekick of Scared to Death on these bitches.
Surprise, motherfuckers!
As you jump up from behind this statue,
at the same time, Eve will open the door for her and Sabine.
In that case, you guys will be rolling initiative. But this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Of course!
As you have busted in on the Dinner of the Devils, and you came in guns a-blazing. So this is super exciting. Next week, we're going to start with initiative. You guys don't have to roll it now. We'll roll it first thing when you guys arrive, and Oren will be able to cast his magic spell of fear, scared to death.
Oh. We could
As you
have
have
just
entered
knocked.
the Temple of Bane. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Holy smokes! Crash a party. And I'm super excited to find out what happens. Now, is there any final words from our sponsors?
Oh man.
Yeah, don't forget to like and follow and subscribe. You can watch all of our previous videos on YouTube, and you can catch us at GameCon Canada on June 14th to the 16th this year in Edmonton. So, if you want to meet us,
Coming out.
come on down. We're so excited.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Edmonton, Alberta. You know, it's pretty close to California. It's pretty close to New Jersey. In fact, it's just around the corner pretty well.
Guess it's not a come on down, but like, come on up.
Yeah, come on.
Down. Come on up.
We do
Beautiful North and free.
have some weekend passes to give away, so stay tuned to the Instagram. Make sure you're following us there, because all of the information will be there.
What?
Yeah.
We went last year. The con is fantastic.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah,
It is amazing.
We went last year. By far my favorite convention I've ever been to.
Yup.
Yeah.
Cool. That's going to be awesome. Yes, and as always, we hope you live your best selves in your mortal roles. We will see you next time.
Bye guys.